My sponsor Rock Bottom is currently running a special deal. Head on over to rockbottomcoins.com and use code Zirksee at checkout for a 30% off your order.
The whole thing wobbin', wobbin'. When I come around, got the whole thing wobbin'.
What's going on, guys? It's Zirksee coming at you today with another YouTube video. Today I'm going over more Madden 20 information, some actual stuff about some more gameplay news, and of course I'm going to be using Madden School to show you guys this information. So again, I'll leave a link to Madden School in the description. Go ahead and check them out. They seem to post a lot of news about Madden 20, basically anything you can find, and then of course I'll show you guys in videos. But today we have some information about some adjustments. So we have automatic baseline, some hot routes, and also some coaching adjustment changes. So let's go ahead and get into this. Over the last few days, we've continued to learn more about Madden 20. We're doing our best to pass the latest updates along to you. New information on defensive adjustments, hot routes, and more have continued to come out. We'll start first with the defensive adjustments. So, aggressive pass rush. As you guys can see, in previous Madden games, you had the option to set your pass rush to aggressive, normal, or conservative. If you set it to aggressive, your pass rushers will occasionally get a quick jump off the line of scrimmage, which would lead to more sacks and hurries. The downside was if your opponent fake hiked, more often than not, one of your defensive linemen would jump off sides, resulting in a 5-yard penalty. That entire system has been scrapped in Madden 20. Now, not only that, I believe also with aggressive pass rush, it would make it a lot easier for your opponent to run the ball on you as well. So that's kind of why I never touched it. I always left it on balance. I never messed with it, never put it on conservative or aggressive, unless like it was like 3rd and 15 and my opponent had not fake hiked me all that game. Then I'll probably put it on aggressive because you'd be able to get there and potentially get a sack. But something that I've heard from people that have actually played Madden 20 is that the pass rush is really good. I've heard that pass rush is going to be super good, and especially in general, it seems like you actually are going to be using superstar players. That's kind of the theme, I guess, with Madden 20, is using the big name players. So if you're going to use a defensive lineman like J.J. Watt, Aaron Donald, Khalil Mack, over, say, someone like, I don't even know, someone that's not a superstar, basically, a defensive end, you're going to see a huge difference in the pass rush there. So using someone that has super good pass rush, especially when it comes to like Madden Ultimate Team early in the year, maybe it'll actually be worth it this year to go ahead and pick up, say, 89 overall base elite Aaron Donald instead of sticking with the 82 overall defensive end the first day or first week or whatever, because the pass rush would be that much better. So just keep that in mind. Pass rush is going to be the same for everyone unless you actually have super good defensive ends. Tell your defense to always baseline. We now have the ability to set up our defensive alignment before we break the huddle. Your options are baseline, man align, and default. If you followed any of our Madden tips over the last 12 years, you know that the first step to every play we call is to base align. For those of you that are unfamiliar with the term, base align just tells your defense to stay in their default positions and not spread out to match up with the formation the offense is in. It is important because we set up our Madden 20 nano blitzes. We need everyone to be in a specific spot in order for the blitz to work as it should. Base align keeps all your players in those spots. This will remove one defensive adjustment from each defensive play that top Madden players will call. This is important because defenses now have as little as 3 seconds to make adjustments in Madden 20. And actually, I will show you guys that as well. That is the other thing I have to go over with you guys today, is the adjustments and how much you're going to need to do it. So next up is going to be additional hot routes. Now, Madden School actually, I don't think they realized whose pick this was. I believe this was Mr. Golden Sports. He was the first person that I saw tweeted out. I'm pretty sure it was his picture. But a few weeks ago, went over the fact that we have 4 additional hot route slots for superstar receivers in Madden 20. We have more details on that and some default hot routes for tight ends. The picture below shows the hot route options for 49ers tight end George Kittle. Apologies in advance for the poor picture quality. Came on EA Play and has made its way around social media, but it's unclear where/who would originate from. I believe it's Mr. Golden Sports, but I could be wrong on that. I'm pretty sure it's from GS. But tight end hot routes, as you guys can see, there is the block and release into the flats and the block and the release into the cross. Not only that, but also Kittle's a superstar. He has cross, trail, post, and corner. That's going to be glitchy. If you have a tight end that can do a post route, and then you want to say, if it's going to be the same thing as Madden 19, of course, crossing routes are super OP this year. If you can put Kittle, let's say, on a post route, and then have like Randy Moss coming on a deep cross, it's going to be some issues. We can see that the right stick is significantly different than before. We still have the drag whip, but everything else is different. The new default options are block and release, block and cross, and also the delay fade. Because Kittle is an elite pass catcher, he has additional hot routes on the D-pad. The inclusion of these new hot routes in Madden 20 should make offenses much more original. So that's all the information we have when it comes to base aligning, adjustments, and also some new hot routes. But like they mentioned a little bit earlier, you're going to have to be able to make adjustments a lot quicker, and I'll get into that right now. So here we have some more information. Madden 20 adjustments must be made in as little as 3 seconds. That is correct, guys. Now, if you played, I want to say it was Madden 16. It might even been like up to Madden 18. I honestly do not remember if I did it last year. I honestly can't remember. But something that I used to do, and I think a lot of people also used to do this well, basically what would you do when you were calling a play in your playbook? You would flip the play to the side that you do not want to come out in. So basically, let's say you want to run it right. You would flip the play so that it would be running left, and as soon as you would come out in the huddle, you would hit X on the Xbox course, and you would hit right trigger, so it would flip the play, and that would actually make your players come to the line of scrimmage a lot quicker. This is a way to get quick hike off and not allow your opponent to make defensive adjustments, and the same thing when it comes to the pass play. You can do the same thing and basically just get to the line of scrimmage a lot faster, and that's big on offense because it doesn't allow your opponent to make a bunch of defensive adjustments unless they know what they're doing. It looks like something like that is going to be back in Madden 20, but you don't even have to do anything. One of EA Sports' big priorities for Madden 20 was to come out some of the unnecessary dead time between plays. We are all familiar with the random cutscenes, the camera going over to the sideline just to see your coach excitedly clapping his hands, or waiting 12 seconds for your 330-pound offensive lineman to run 40 yards downfield during a hurry-up offense. We first broke the news in that change last month, but we now have more exact details. Of these added nothing of value to the game and resulted in a lot of dead time. The developers have minimized those things in Madden NFL 20, but there might be some unintended consequences. In every Madden game in the last decade, it took the offense at least 8 seconds between when they broke the huddle and when they got into the line of scrimmage ready to snap the ball. When your opponent called a no-huddle offense, you'd still have those 8 seconds minimum and usually a lot more than that. Those 8 seconds gave the defense valuable time to make adjustments instead of their play. No matter how quickly your opponent tried to go, you'd have those 8 seconds. Not anymore. In Madden 20, the defense will now have only 3 seconds to make adjustments if the offense calls a no huddle or hurry up offense and snaps the ball right away. That is almost 2/3 less time than we've had in the past to make any sort of defensive adjustments, so you better brush up quick on your stick skills. In a standard play call out of a huddle, the defense will have a minimum of 5 seconds to make their adjustments. This is still a lot less than 8 seconds minimum in previous games, but at least gives the defense some time. So guys, really, this is big. This is pretty big. Now I have to say, with them making these adjustments, I think that means that conductor chemistry, if conductor chemistry is in Madden 20, is going to be so big. If you guys are unfamiliar with conductor, if you play Ultimate Team, you probably know what it is. If you don't, basically conductor chemistry allows you to make multiple adjustments to your receivers or blocking or anything like that before you actually get to the line of scrimmage. If you don't have conductor, I believe you can only make one. With conductor, you can make multiple. So it helps a lot. Let's say you come out and you're running even 4 verticals. If you run hurry up offense, in 3 seconds, you could easily hit Y and say you want to put the X tier on a slant. You could do that and put B, say, on a cross or whatever. You can do that easily in 3 seconds. Get to the line of scrimmage, hike the ball, and your opponent better have his adjustments made. So guys, if you're trying to get ready for Madden 20, I would definitely go ahead, go into practice mode, and practice the buttons that it takes to quick adjust your defensive line, your linebackers, your cornerbacks, your safeties. If you don't know what that is, I believe you have to double click like left bumper and some other buttons as well. Look into that. Try to get that down because you're going to need to for Madden 20. If this development worries you, there is some good news. Preplay is now both standardized and able to be tuned. That means that things can change, and you have the ability to tweak it to your liking in modes like franchise or offline. The updated information came via tweet from Madden 20 gameplay designer Clint Oldenburg. Clint said, no quick hiking, no 18 seconds, preplay is now standardized and tunable, both sides given a minimum of 5 seconds pre-snap for adjustments out of the huddle, 3 seconds in no huddle. Just to put this in perspective, let's take a look at how fast 3 seconds goes by in Madden. This video below shows the end of a completed pass in Madden 19 and the offense running a hurry up. So this is literally all the time we're going to have to make adjustments right here. And the ball will be snapped. That is exactly how 3 seconds is very, very fast. If you think you can make all your adjustments in that time, you should be good. But honestly, I don't think I'm that good where I know how to do this. I gotta do some practicing as well. That's all the time you have before the offense started running their next play. 3 seconds. Watch the video a few times, really let it sink in. Think of what defensive adjustments you can make in that time frame. Sure, the top 0.1% of Madden players will be able to find something that works, but the other 99.9% of gamers are in a whole world of trouble on defense. This will likely lead to a significant increase in the skill gap and an even greater increase in the amount of people quick hiking and running no-huddle offenses. A beginning player will only be able to make one adjustment to their defense in 3 to 5 seconds, intermediate 2 or 3, and a top tier pro player about 5. Honestly, I'm not a top tier player. If you guys watch me, you know that. I'd put myself maybe slightly above intermediate, maybe like high intermediate. I think if I'm like, I never make top 100 in weekend league. Honestly, I'm not that great. I've been close, but I usually end up with like 17, probably about 17 wins, 18 wins every single week. I never make top 100 though, so I'm definitely not a top tier player. I will definitely say that. That might not seem like a big difference. Those not all familiar to higher levels of Madden, but being able to make those extra 2 or 3 adjustments can turn an average defensive play into something devastatingly effective. It is a great idea to try to cut out some of the downtime in Madden. It will just make defense a whole lot harder. So honestly, this is probably the biggest news of information. I mean, we have a lot of news about Madden 20 gameplay wise, but this honestly might be the biggest difference in terms of gameplay. I feel like probably 90% of people, or at least the top tier players, will definitely be running no huddle offense. Now, also a big thing to keep in mind though is stamina. How will stamina work with Madden 20 if you're running no huddle offense? That's what I want to see exactly. How quick with an Ultimate Team where your players get tired? Can you run 5, 6 plays in no huddle and be still fast enough to beat someone at the edge? Honestly, this is going to be pretty interesting. Guys, that is all the news I have for you guys today. Defensive adjustments, definitely be pretty hard if someone's running a no-huddle offense. And also, the baseline and the pass rush aggressive is going to be no more. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. And if you did, smack the like button, subscribe, and comment. Let me know down below your guys' opinions on this. I definitely think this is pretty interesting news. Definitely pretty interesting. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time.